Yeah, one other person. Right. Yeah, one other person.
Can you guys hear me now? Hello?
All right, y'all. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Correct Me If I'm Wrong. I'm your host, Marcus.
Most incredible, baby.
And today we got a new topic. We got some new guests. I don't think anybody that I have on here has ever been on the show before.
No.
Nah, I don't think so. But we're going to ahead and start with the introductions. I want to start with Miss Sue. Miss Sue, you're the one who contacted me and reached out to me, you know what I mean, to go ahead and be able to talk about this. How you doing today?
Good. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you perfectly fine. I had muted you. I muted you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
my daughter has her phone connected to this computer, and she's in there with her headphones. Anyway.
okay. Yeah, I went ahead and just muted everybody, you know what I'm saying, just in case, you know, because you were saying, you know, I know people were trying to mute before and it was kicking them out. I don't know what's going on. But yeah,
Understood.
so yeah, you had hit me what, a couple weeks ago?
I did.
And, you know,
I'm just the social media pusher on this end. I do what needs done. Sandra's really the brain behind the group, but you know she's a little tech unsavvy. So I suggested that because I knew about your podcast, and I said, "Hey, I think this might be a great platform for us. Do you want me to reach out to him?" She said yes, and here we are.
okay, cool. Uh Mayor Walker, how you doing?
Good, family. How you?
Hey man, I'm alive. I can't complain. And I reached out to you. What? I reached out to you a while back. You know, I wanted to, you know, have a conversation with you, and you know, just talk about how what's it like being the mayor of Aliquippa.
Oh man.
You know, so what I watched a lot of your interviews and read a lot of them, and so what I try to do is I try to stand out and come up with other things that you're not used to hearing already, you know, because a lot of people get interviews and are like, okay, I've heard these questions, you know, people have come to me with this, that, and the third before. So I was just thinking of some things that I'm like, okay, what will set me apart from any other interview he's ever done? So I'm still kind of working on that, you know.
I told you before, man. You don't got to send me no questions, man. Just fire off. If I can't answer, I'll tell you what I can.
That was going to be my thing. It's not going to be nothing that's written down or anything like that. It's just a conversation that I have.
We can just talk and have a vibe. Questions come to you, just ask, man. I'm
cool,
bro. Like I said,
cool.
I'm 300 pounds. I can't run fast, so I ain't going nowhere.
All right, but how about them quips?
Hey, that's what we. Hey, I mean, it's this time of the year. 'Tis the season.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know you and Sue. Yeah, y'all be front and center all of the time. Hey man, I had all of these city guys talking bad to me last week or the week before, you know, after the Penn Hills game, you know, and I was like, yo, they played a bad game and still almost won.
Yeah, that's a Super Bowl. Championships ain't won in September. Tell them to come see us.
That's right.
Yeah, my daughter was there. She said, you would have thought Penn Hills won the state championship.
It was running around like they was like ready for the titty to turn them up a parade or something.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. Anytime people, are able to beat Aliquippa, that's they cannot win another game for the rest of the season. They'll just have.
But they beat us. That was
Yeah. I remember the one year that y'all lost to Beaver Falls when y'all won with 2003. Y'all lost to Beaver Falls, but y'all ended up winning states, and they were still able to say, "But who was that one loss to?" So that.
I leave that
Why
to
you keeping track of our losses, man?
Super Bowls. I Steelers fans. Y'all still talking about 6 Super Bowls and all that.
Oh man, listen. I know we off topic a little bit, but I can't wait till Sunday because I'm a Cowboys fan. I absolutely cannot wait. I can't wait to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh again.
I hope both of y'all lose. I don't even care.
All right, let me get to my man Sterling. Sterling, what's going on, homie?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing all right, my man. Now I don't know you personally, you know what I mean? I seen you on an It's a Family podcast with Vadi. Now did y'all work together? Are you like a co-founder of that? How did that work?
So me and Vadi go way back to like jits, like kids. So probably maybe like a year. How long ago, Vadi? Like maybe like a year ago, I hit him up like I'm like, shoot, me and my boy Reeve, like we was talking about a podcast, and we was like, shoot, Vadi was posting on Instagram talking about how he want to do a podcast and this, that, and the third. So I was like, Vadi's my guy, you know what I mean? So what's up with hitting him up? And Reeve was like, cool. So we end up hitting Reeve up. We end up hitting Vadi up, and if y'all know, back in the day, we used to be in a little group called Fort Millie, and that's where the It's a Family came from. Like they used to rap. I was just the dude behind the scenes. I'd give money whenever money was needed, and I was just always with them. So I was like, He was like, we need a name. I was like, It's a Family. So that's how that came about. That's how the It's a Family really came about.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Like I was telling y'all, I really like what y'all be doing. There's 3 podcasts that I know of that come out of the Aliquippa area. Mine, correct me if I'm wrong. You and Vadi, It's a Family podcast, and my guys, Willie Walker and Gavin Vini, Cart Before the Horse. And they're all different. We all have our own kind of spin on things, you know what I mean? And I think it's pretty cool. But like I said, I really like what y'all doing, man. Vadi, what's up, homie? Is he muted?
Oh, snap. What's up?
No, you good. Man? You good. What's going on?
What's up?
Man, you know how I go. What's going on with you, man? Talk to us.
Not much, you feel me? Same old, you mean? It's a family. I say we all we got and we all we need. I say who did and God did.
I can dig it.
Just trying to bring the community back together and do something positive for the community. Turn a negative situation into a positive, just out there being Javad.
That's what's up, my man. That's what's up. So now I know Sterling gave us a little bit of insight about the podcast that you got going on. What was your vision for it when you initially wanted to do it?
When I initially wanted to do it, like for if everybody knows me, I know I'll be around a lot of fights and a lot of everything inside Aliquippa. So
KDKA.
You feel me? That's why I was always around stuff. I always had a camera. But I realized like one day when a situation happened on one of my podcasts, I realized that I had to change up the route and change my perception. So when people see me, they won't be like, oh, that's a dude that be recording fights and stuff like that. So I was thinking, how can I impact the community the same way? And that's why I was just thinking like to push the positive message and try to get different conversations with different people to bring the positive back into the community. And then I think that's how me and Sterling Bennett hit me like a while ago, him and Reeve, and we was on this little app, but we wasn't live when we were doing it. We were just doing it just for fun. And then I worked at RMU, and we used to go live at like 5 and 6 in the morning, and people would actually watch.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We did a song called like Lovely Day, and people actually tuned in. I was like, wow, that's it. Like, we could do this. And then it went from us just going live and singing music to now us to literally having conversations with people and other schools like Lincoln Park, like Aliquippa. Like, we just was doing things just off the fly. Like, people was actually tuned in, so let's just do that for the community. Now,
when y'all was doing that, you said y'all was at Robert Morris when y'all was doing that?
Morris University.
Yeah. I liked it, man, because I was up. I start work at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so I would be up when y'all would do it. You know what I mean? So I would always tune into it. you know, just to kind of give a good vibe to everybody. You know what I mean? Start off with some good music. That was pretty cool. I like that. I did like it. And last but not least, is it the last person I got? Miss Sandra.
Okay, 3.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm here. I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. Now you're like Sue said, you're the brains behind this. What made you want to start this?
Well, I happen to be one of those mothers who had that midnight call, and my son, my oldest son, was murdered at the age of 21. So out of that grew the passion, the desire to make a difference in Aliquippa when it comes to the violent crimes. And if it's a thing that we could do to deter it, to save one or two people, then I think that's the thing to do. Can
I
you
hear
hear me?
that. Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's my hard, lifelong passion is to, reach out and get an organization, get the people in the community, the businesses and all as many organizations or whoever, whenever, however, we can get them to come together and try to find things to do for the kids so that they don't have to stand on a corner with guns and shoot each other. Get activities, get to know the kids, their parents, and do try to do what we can for them in any way that we can, meet them where they're at and try to help meet their needs so we can, turn this city into a good, productive, healthy place to live.
Okay. All right. Now,
Marcus, if I could just add one thing.
go ahead.
One thing we want to touch on is we're not trying to take away from any other organization trying to do anything,
Right.
because we know there's Beaver County United and they are doing great and fantastic things, but we want to take care of Aliquippa first because like the mayor says, we got to save ourselves before we could save others. So we got to be, take care of the nucleus, and then we can work, because we know Beaver Falls is having same problems. We know other towns are having the same problems, but this is where we're at. This is where we pay taxes. This is where we breathe and live and work. So not taken away from anybody else. We would love to join forces with anybody, but we got to take care of home.
Yeah, I don't think there's any issue with that, because, a lot of times we hear, or I've seen it, because things like this really don't get a lot of press. But people always say, communities that we come from, that, Black lives only matter when certain things are happening. But doing things like this, getting things together, stop the violence group, rallies, whatever it may be, just efforts that are going into it to try to curb the violence, the crime. I think that shows in itself that there are people who do care about Black lives, and not just when certain things happen. So kudos to y'all for putting this together, and let's go ahead and talk about it. So if anybody, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, we're a community where there's like 2 to 3 degrees of separation. And I always tell people that, man. You know who's doing the stuff in your community. It's very rare that it's an outsider. Outsiders usually come in here and get their own farewell. But it seems like the ones that inside, that's where it comes from, and it's just there's like an outcry of do something. But I tell everybody, like I tell telling everybody now, the minute the police is the first thing on the realm of resources to do, we have failed as a community. There's no way in hell you should want the police. As a mom and a dad, my mom, I know where my kids are. I'm sure you know where your kids are. I'm sure everybody on this phone know where their kids are. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm 49 years old, man, but my mom used to search my room every Friday. When I was in high school,
no privacy.
Doors and make you fold that stuff back up. She didn't care. I said, "Mom, you don't even go nowhere." But it starts with the home, and then it starts with the school. Then it comes back to the home. Then it goes to curricular activities. So it's like 5 things before you even get to the police. And police can't be the only thing. But again, everybody thinks 48 hours is 30 minutes. 48 hours, if you watch the show, They don't solve every crime in 48 hours. You watch the whole way to the end, and they tell you what, a year from now, something got solved. And why? Every time it starts with somebody coming forward, somebody willing to put their hand on that Bible and say, I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. That's how things get solved. It ain't just police. Police can only do their part, turn it over to the district attorney's office, then you got that phrase. But if you see something and you put your hand in the Bible, you point out somebody like, with Dov and them, the murder of Dov. I mean, think about that, man. That kids who testified in that case, man, are heroes because they stood up and put their hand on that Bible against all odds and told the truth. And like, this is what I saw. So you don't get that. My sister was murdered in these streets. Like, people keep forgetting that. I know what it is to have loved and lost. I know what sorrow looks like. And I feel that every day. Every time somebody, get hurt in this city, it affects me because I know 9 times out of 10, I know who they are. I know the families. There's a direct correlation between me and them. 2 degrees of separation, maybe 3 tops. Right. So we just got to understand something. I mean, if it's truly we all we got, we all we need, then that really got to mean something. It ain't just a slogan on a T-shirt or something on Friday Night Tykes. It's got to be something that means a lot. If we want Aliquippa like this, I mean, people make fun of that thing, but it's more than that, man. This is mind, body, and soul. We all in this city could together, grow up together. Families know each other. There shouldn't nothing happen in this city that we don't know about or can't report it,
Now, speaking of that, though, like you said, those kids who went and testified and told what they saw, whatever the case is, is there still the stigma of the no snitching culture?
Yeah.
Now, because my understanding of no snitching is if you live a certain kind of lifestyle and you go to the authorities about things, that's considered snitching. Also, if you're telling on somebody to get less time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you're just a regular civilian, you got a 9 to 5. You're not in the streets. You, like I said, you're a law-abiding citizen. Is it still considered snitching?
I mean, so what do you could call snitching if it happens and one of your family members get killed? Somebody you love get killed. Somebody you care. I mean, so what, we gonna keep doing vigils and lighting and letting balloons off, or we gonna solve these things and get these people off the street? That's what I gotta ask. You want to get these people off the streets? You want to get them? Listen, man, I don't. I mean, there's a way. Like I said, if you're a civilian, 9 to 5s, you got to protect where you rest your head at. I get that. But if you just like randomly just over streets we ain't never gonna own, and you beefing about something we ain't never. You'll be dead and gone before these streets ever change their name to somebody. You know what I mean? So
right.
If it's about a project, this, that, the third. I mean, I just don't understand what the beef is about. When we come together, like people make fun of Friday nights, everybody talk about football, but sometimes that's the gateway to get you in the room. And if that's the gateway to get you in the room, like Sue said, that's where you got to be at. You got to be where they are. And to me, that makes sense. I mean, especially if you're trying to make a crime like the city most livable. At the end of the day, like numbers don't lie. Like if you look at the statistics, it's just that when things happen in Quip, one we know who do it, or somebody gonna find out within 24 hours.
Literally.
And then 2, them same people who telling it ain't gonna, when they ask them, when the cops come to them, I ain't saying shit. Get out of my face. At the end of the day, man, let's be real. Don't come off like, oh, we all righteous and everybody. I told you, everybody can't be Robin Hood. You can't do what you want to do when you want to do it. Then all of a sudden, act like you righteous. That's
right.
Some people, I don't like that stuff because when that kid got shot in front of my house, I pulled him in my house. When nobody here, when nobody talk, you know what I mean? He bleeding all over my house and on me. I'm calling the ambulance, get him out, get him safe, get him help. Yeah. The kid was about to shoot up the school and took the gun off of him. Like at the end of the day, man, you can say what you want. Oh, he don't do enough. They don't do enough. At the end of the day, Facebook clicks is all people do it for. At the end of the day, it's about changing lives, man. I know what it feels like. I said, I saw my sister 8 hours before she was killed. Can't nobody tell. And then I saw her when she was laying there with 3 bullets in her. So can't nobody tell me nothing. At the end of the day, I know what carnage looks like. I know what death looks like. I know what my mother and father did when my sister got killed. I know the screams that I heard my parents cry. I don't want no family to hear that. And the ones that had it so far, I pray for them every day that they find comfort because there ain't no peace in it. You just got to find comfort.
Now, a question that I have, and I don't know if other people may have it. What do you guys feel like the relationship is between the community and law enforcement?
Y'all answer that, then I'll come back. If there's, let's put it this way: if there's no snitching rule, then what you think the relationship is?
Okay.
If there's no snitching rule, that's the question. You ask the question without already knowing the answer to it. So it can't be a like. And then again, you could say, "I know who did it," but you all go in the box and say, "What? I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God." So, if you want to say that the relationship is adversarial because you won't tell, then we got to knock on your door. You know, look, when that kid got, I'm gonna tell you something. When that kid got shot in front of my house, they put the police report on Facebook. They put everything I said in my witness statement on Facebook. At the end of the day, do you understand what I'm saying? So, so think about that. So if that happened to me, then what you think? Why you think people ain't telling, bro? Because look at what just happened, man. There is no relationship because we don't. It's for a relationship to work, bro. It can't be one.
Can't be one sided. Yeah.
Like I'm about to look. It can't be one sided. A relationship is a relationship for a reason. That's why it's called relationship. It ain't single. It's relationship. So yeah, the relationship is adversarial because at the end of the day, I mean, you got good, bad situations. I mean, there's things that happen with police. I get that part, man. But when an issue happens that's really serious, bro, and you need somebody to protect and serve, you got to say what you see. The cops can write a statement, but at the end of the day, you got to come forward with your statement. You got to go before the district attorney's office, and you got to testify. The law states you have to face your accuser. At the end of the day, most people don't want to go that far. They don't.
Right.
You're right about that. If I could interject here, I'm on a busy corner where there's a lot of activity. It's not as bad as it used to be, and this really is not violence, but years ago, I called 911 when a drunk driver hit a curb out by my house. And it was just, 911 call. I didn't see anything. All I heard it, blah, blah, blah. Years later, I ended up getting subpoenaed to go to court because I'm the one who called 911. And there he was sitting right there. I didn't know him from Adam. I couldn't have picked him out of a lineup because I never seen him. And I'm giving my address and my name. And that is scary. That is scary for people because how do you know he don't scribble, scribble, scribble? Oh, okay, let me go to her house. I mean, most people know where I live. I'm not hiding anywhere. But, if you're actually see some real crime, somebody actually murdered, and then you got to go there, and then these streets are crazy. People are not wrapped too tight. And then, oh, let's go kill her. So I'm killed as a witness. I don't want to go in witness protection. You know what I mean? I don't carry. You know what I mean? So that is scary. So I don't think it's I'm not snitching. It's I'm scared. I'm scared to tell. You know what I mean? And that's why I want to be involved with this group because I think, in my opinion, I did not raise a boy. I'm involved with the football team. I think it's just lack of communication. I just think it's got to be a conversation. Hey, what's our beef? Let's put it aside. If you quit, I quit, we quit, and you're done. You're just done. Like stop beefing. Like even like when we're feeding the team and the kids are pushing and shoving and stop. If you stop touching him and you stop touching him, everybody stops. Just stop. It's that simple. But why are we like why do you I can't imagine hating somebody enough to kill them. I can't process that.
And then, like somebody said, build a relationship with the police force. Okay, but the relationship again is part of a relationship for a reason. People like the relationship has to be mutual. It can't be like, oh, he's sleeping on the couch today, or she's sleeping on the couch, and I'm in the bedroom. No, it got to be sleeping in the same room, in the same direction, with the same goals, same like mind, trying to do things the right way, be right, act right, do right. At the end of the day, that's what it takes, man. I told you when them kids got shot, the parents like take them do this, do this. As soon as the police got there, we're lawyering up. We ain't saying nothing. We ain't got nothing to do with it. We ain't got nothing to say. Get me out of here. And I'm telling you, that's exactly the truth. So I'm witnessing this stuff firsthand. People just want to say stuff, but I'm witnessing this firsthand. So it ain't like I'm just saying something like y'all talking to somebody who ain't involved.
Right.
I'm seeing this every day. Like, yeah, I know something. Well, please say something. No, I ain't saying nothing, man. I ain't saying nothing. Nah, twin. Nah, Coach Twin. I ain't saying nothing. Nah, twin. I ain't saying. Nah, Mayor. I ain't saying nothing.
So it seems to be more of a. It's either a fear or you just don't want to be looked at a certain type of way by
50.
The peers.
50
Go
50.
ahead. Yeah. So now you said Vardy, you said depends. You want to elaborate on that?
I said like I'm saying like depends because some people take it the wrong way like they snitching they try to go off of what they peers gonna say after they stitch. Is you gonna still be embraced by your friends? Is your friends gonna want to be your friends? Is your friends not gonna want to be your friend just because you cooperating with police enforcement? But as soon as something happened to the person who who they know and his family, that's when they want the person to go down. But then they and some people who know the person, they just say free him and knowing what he did was wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
it's
I
like
don't agree.
But
it
that's what
really
you do.
depends on who
Well,
you know.
what I'm saying, what I don't agree about is, if you did, you eliminate somebody and everybody know that you did this. No, there is no free you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Literally.
you're where you're supposed to be. Unless it's a different kind of circumstance, self defense and all of that type of stuff. That's a different case. But just to go out and take somebody's life because you're emotional, and I feel like that's a lot of times what this turns out to be. A lot of emotional young men that just don't know how to process it.
And no guidance and no goals. Like
Absolutely.
but like I said yesterday when we had to talk, a lot of that stuff goes on with what I mean the inside the house. What I mean, what you come out of. What I mean, a lot of these kids don't got loving parents. What I mean, a lot of these kids don't got loving aunts and uncles. Can't nobody call. What I mean, their uncle or their dad or their mom. Most of them in jail or 6 feet under. Like you gotta. What I mean. So we do like as a community, we do have to come together and get these kids with they. What I mean, shoot, a movie day. What I mean, get these kids movie nights or something like that. So
just
what I
to
mean,
give them something to do.
yeah,
Literally,
just
like playing the stuff basically.
Here's the question.
Yes.
Here's a question. Sorry, Sandra, on giving
Mm.
kids something to do. Will they come? Will you attract the right kids? Will you get the kids that we need to be there? Everybody seems to know who it is.
Uh-huh.
That's who we need. And I do want to pass this off to Sandra because the ideas she has behind our Stop the Violence are so key because we want to talk to parents. We want to talk to the community. So Sandra, I'll go ahead and kick that to you.
Yeah, and I agree with Sterling. Um, we got to start at home. We got to first start there, and if we can get to the parents, just raising these kids, because to me, what has happened is that the values and morals and respect, all that has diminished throughout times. We don't have that that fear of well, maybe not fear but the respect of different things, but it's a fear that's instilled in you. You know not to go out and do certain things because when you came home there were repercussions. Well, these kids are being raised by mothers and fathers who probably still out there getting their groove on. They still into, the mamas got the biggest drug dealer because they got to get their hair done, lashes and nails done. It's easy money, lots of money, quick money. So and most households now are single parent households, and most of the parents are in drugs or into all sorts of kind of things. And then even the moms are the parents are friends with the kids, so they sit down and around and get high with them. Now, raising the child in that type of environment, it only leads to destruction, if you ask me. We coming back up when coming up in my era. you know we had a certain reverence, a certain degree of respect. We had morals. We values were instilled in us. You just didn't do things haphazardly and think that it was okay to just do anything any kind of way, because we always had repercussions. For instance, you can't whoop your child nowadays, because if the school get a hold to it and report it to CYS, you're in trouble. Back when I was coming up, if you got a whooping, you trust me and believe me that you knew better than to do that again. So society as a whole has taken so many things out of that we as parents are not allowed to do, and even religion out of the school and so forth and so on. And just like we talked about yesterday, our religion taught us to have reverence, reverence for our elders and pastors and leaders and teachers and things like that. We had a certain degree of structure that we learned from just the church format. We don't have any of that nowadays.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree with that. Like we were saying yesterday when we were all talking. As much as I debate about religion and all of that type of stuff, I do agree that church does give kids a certain level of discipline and
right.
and structure. So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But look,
So
grandma,
we need to get back to, some old values, try to instill those. But we have things in mind, like having a community conversation where whoever wants to come, and join us at this community conversation, and have some guest speakers, of course, and also, leave it open for parents, kids, or whoever has anything that they want to say, because we need to listen. I mean, we all have all type of advice, and we can beat them over the head with religion. We can do all those things, but what we need to do is meet them just where they're at, find out what they're going through in their homes, and then maybe we could, if we can't do anything personally ourselves individually or as a group, we can help find resources, to help them get what they need, or if they need counseling or whatever case may be, because there's even parents out there that's afraid of their kids. You know what I mean? The kids out there gang banging and slinging. These parents are really petrified of these kids. So I mean, it's a big wide territory to cover, but somebody has to do it. So
I cannot
how
imagine. I cannot imagine being in my home where I pay the bills and
exactly,
being afraid of my
exactly,
child.
never.
I can't wrap my mind around that.
No, no, but
It
they are.
happens.
but
It happens.
but you put yourself, like, I'm still scared of my mom and dad to this day.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I know you don't mean it as far as them. They're going to physically discipline you, but yeah, there's a healthy fear that, like, I saw a post yesterday or a couple of days ago. Do you cuss around your parents? Absolutely not. My
Absolutely
mom.
not. Mhm.
If I slip up and say something, my mom is gonna look at me crazy, and I'm like, oh man, my fault, mom. I forget.
You
I
can
I'm
apologize.
I'm
you can
65 years old. I have an auntie that's 83, 84, and till this day, I still respect her, even though I am just as grown as she is. You know, Even coming up, my nieces like Janaisha Walker, Danielle Walker, and them, they used to smoke cigarettes. I never saw them smoke cigarettes. So when people would say that my nieces were smoking, I really wanted to say, no, you got to be lying. But they were of age, but they respect me enough not to do it in front of me. And that's just how we were raised, and that's where that good, healthy fear comes from. That's the kind of fear that keeps you out of the streets, and it makes you come home, you know and do productive and respectful things. We used to have all type of summer jobs around here for the kids, when they finish school, because all my kids were raised like that. At the When they finished school, the school year, they would get a job. My peanut, the one that was murdered, he used to um work up at the Plan 12 pool, and paint it and stuff, and they that kind of get them some insight on working. You know what I mean? So if you start them early, they when it's time to go ahead and work, it's not a chore, it's not a task, it's something that they're used to. So they were working, they would buy their own clothes for the school year, because that's how I raised them. Kids don't have those things anymore. They didn't. Then grandmas, I know grandmas my age, 65 years old, they act like they 22, 20, 24, 45. You have to draw that line of separation. I am the adult. I am the authority here. You listen to me and do as I say do. But in the same token, you have to be a worthy adult. I mean, want this, I don't want to say worthy, but I'm saying want this, this living a constructive, structured life and pouring good values and principles into these kids. So I think that's what we need to start at is at home. And we also going to have, we want to have a teen summit. So, more or less a open format. Let the kids talk to us and tell us, whatever they want to tell us and tell us what we need and what we can do for them. We need to listen to them sometimes, and instead of us always telling them what they need to do and what they should do, we need to
I
listen to them and see where they're at.
I agree with Sue. When she said earlier, what do you do to draw these kids in?
Okay.
Because
Well,
if it was like saying, I don't know, let's just say one of us from the panel, like, hey, we're having a teen summit. Like, I'm not anybody that kids would want to come and see and hear me talk about X, Y, and Z. So that's what I'm sure a lot of people want to figure that out or want the answer to that is what can we do to get their attention to want to come and even open up and even start and talk to people? Why are
well,
you so angry?
I can say that some years ago, I guess I can't think of the little fella's name. I think it was Ty Quell. He was the little fella that got killed over there on Wall Street.
He was the one that
Um,
he
Ty,
sparked him and my sister.
yeah,
yeah,
Taquay
the,
Hayes.
the, the truck
Wait,
he
Wallace.
got smashed
Yeah, yeah. I'm
between the
sorry.
truck and
His
the
dad
wall.
is a Hayes. His dad is a Hayes. I'm sorry. I
Yeah, he
apologize.
got pinned against the wall.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So what we did, we had a block party. And what we did, we left it open. Like we know the kids like rap music. I'm not into rap music, but so we had rap music, but we got rap music that didn't, all the cussing and stuff went in it. But we played rap music, and we had all kind of stuff, popcorn and cotton candy, and we had all of that. Some guy who lived in a fire station came out and he bought volleyball nets and all kind of stuff out. And we had a few speakers, but basically that day was full of things that they wanted to do. They danced and they acted like kids. And at that time, even some of the ones that was in that turf war that were beeping, they even came. They even came, and we did not have not 1 second of trouble. I think you were up there that day when you, Mayor.
I help me and you put the whole thing together, Miss Amy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So the reason, what I'm saying too is like that's a different generation, though.
Well,
It's a,
it is. It
no,
is.
so look, I'm gonna finish. So it's a different generation from back then when Ty Quay was what that was 15 years ago. Based on the death of my sister. So, um, but that sparked a lot of things because one, what that brought to the kids was that they weren't invincible, that they could be tough. So 15 years ago, it affected them in a different way. This generation has death in the palm of their hands every day. They look at their cell phone, so they become immune to it.
That's
That
right.
Desensitized. Yeah.
they desensitized to it because that cell phone has made us the most intelligent, dumbest generation in the world. To be honest with you, everything we want is right at the click of our hand. You want to
Right.
answer something, ask Siri. You want to do something, Google it. You want to find how to fix something, YouTube it. So we just automatically go to that cell phone, but it has desensitized us to so many things. It's like so that that was effective because back then social media wasn't as heavy as it is now.
Right.
Back then it wasn't heavy. It didn't care. Now social media carries a lot of weight. A lot of your beefs you see on Snapchat and Javard and Sterling can tell you this. This starts on Snapchat, Instagram, Snap. I mean, that's all you see beef back and forth, little snippets of videos being sent all day long, back and forth. I'm over here coming.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, shots rang out. I'm right here down Vic. Shots rang out because you put telegraph from where you at, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, this generation. This generation is. There's got to be a different. This, like I said, we do. And number two, we do a hell of a job destroying people's witnesses, talking bad about one another. So when the kids see us, they don't want to interact because what mommy and daddy or cousin or uncle somebody else said about this one or that one, bro. Like we kill each other's witnesses so much that now these kids, if we had a story to tell, they desensitize us to it. They just like, oh, don't listen to him. He don't know what he's talking about. You remember when I can tell you what his dad did or his mama did or that one did or that one did. Instead of just like letting things be, let every relationship form on its own. Let everybody have a relationship with people on their own. My dad used to say, I believe until you show me who you are. And once you show me who you are, I believe you. Like to that point, I got no qualms with you. We just cool with each other. But we do such a hell of a job destroying each other's witnesses. But then we want people to be kumbaya and cool with each other. Then as soon as they walk away from you, they talking bad about you. You know, and that's what I think the downfall of this generation is. Like, we just don't understand. I mean, I liked it when I had a cell phone and Facebook and all that stuff, man. Growing up, you had to get a quarter and go to right to the corner store and turn the phone. And you had to keep a pocket full of quarters. Now you speed dial, say somebody's name, and you can talk to them right then and there, and FaceTime and Snapchat, and then create a video for posterity.
I think this is an interesting comment. I think we need to start getting kids to see their family and city leaders as their heroes. Also, they need to switch to wearing uniforms, stop them from focusing on who is better with material things.
I was going to say, whenever the mayor was talking, if y'all do, whenever we had the anniversary of Dog, was just probably a couple months ago, them kids came to me and Vardy and said, we want y'all and we want to get on y'all podcast. We were like, all right, come on. That same day we logged in and we know we wasn't no drama, no nothing. We talk about what can make y'all better. Why do y'all want, you know what I mean? What do y'all want in the future and stuff like that? So we just talked to them. It's on YouTube. And it took the thing off of all that negative energy, all that drama, all that other stuff. And they came to us. So me, like, I'm not, us being so, like, we're not young, like, we're young, like, we're the youngest generation. They can, like, I like how they just can come to us and just, you know what I mean? Oh, we want to get on y'all pod and we don't want to talk about what's going on with the beef. We don't want to talk about what's going on, why we shooting this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? They came to us and we listened, you know what I mean?
And there was a lot of conversation that we had off of camera to talk to them on a personal level to realize, like, some of these kids who we was talking to was some of the people prior to that out here doing this and that. And the conversation we had off camera was even better than one that we had on camera, literally. Right. And the thing that I would say, like, to actually, like, when you ask Miss Sue, like, Miss Sandra, how can you draw the kids in? I think we all know in Aliquippa, sports is a way to draw people in, no matter what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Mm. Whether it's that community day, whether it's that train like Equip day, sports or alumni games where it used to be Aliquippa versus Falls at the end of the gym. Sports is a way to
bring the community together.
Sports is a way to bring the community in. So I think if we can plan events with sports related, and we can bring the community in and do a message then and talk to the kids then where everybody's there and it's all off limits and the community can have this conversation together and we can get to a positive situation in the community, literally.
Like have 7-on-7s for them. Like some of the kids who don't see the field on the football field, they can go on the 7-on-7, have a tournament, 3-on-3 tournament, 5-on-5 tournaments, stuff like during the summer, like stuff like that. We don't have that no more. Like we had the old heads do it, you know what I mean? The old heads had the little leagues, you know what I mean, to put the money in the pot. But other than, you know, they do something for the kids, you know what I mean? When Aliquippa community days have it, you know, we all locked in, we all looking, you know what I mean? We all cheering and stuff. For the community, Aliquippa community days, why don't we have other events for that? You know what I mean? You know, we got indoor, we got the high school, you know what I mean? We got
if we bring everybody together, I mean, I say it's gonna be a family because I say we all we got.
Yeah, we all we need.
I have a question. If I could, you know, we talked about single parent homes and things, and there's a lot of single parents that are doing the damn thing, right? They're getting it done. Their kids are excelling. They're doing well. So my question is, do you think there's a stigma or a shame asking for help? Do you think that some of these homes their pride's too high to reach out? I don't want to ask for help because I want to handle this. I mean, I see videos on TikToks of parents in other states having problems that we're having, and they're on TikTok. Like, I don't know what to do with my child. I don't, do you put them out? Like, do you just kick them straight out into the street? Like, there's got to be, and then here's the next question. Parents that are reaching out, I need help. Are they getting help, or is there no help to get them?
I think a couple of parents they got like an ego where they don't even want to reach out.
Right.
They know what's going on. They don't even want you to help them. Literally, it's just an ego that every quick parent had. They all just waiting on that call. Oh, my son not allowed no more. Or my son just did this, or my son just did. They just waiting on that call. I don't know why they waiting, but I think it's just with Aliquippa people, it's just an ego. Like,
I seen one post. This might have been a year ago, maybe a little more. A lady in Aliquippa who just straight came out and made a post. I need help with my son. He was basically out of control. She was crying for help for her son, so she didn't get that phone call. I don't see that often, but I do remember that one stands out to me very, pretty vivid.
But I always say this too, though. We do a great job of putting on for Facebook and Snapchat, and most of the time, like my dad used to say all the time, man, if you ain't having that conversation with your kid, but you can do it on live. Look at Boosie and his daughter. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
And she said that everything on Facebook, but you won't never say that stuff to me. And when you do, it's the right. Like we do. Like, remember, we're from the generation. What happens in my house stays in my house.
Right.
Don't talk about it. Don't you bring it. Whatever happens in my house stays in my house.
Right.
Like I said, I believe like Javad. I believe Javad and Sterling and the podcast that y'all do is a voice of a generation. I believe that because. When you talk to me, Javad, all the time, like I said, I consider you like a son to me. You and Sterling, y'all, and I always say that, like you said, DeJuan, I want to change this and go this. Man, you ain't got to tell me because I see it. Yeah, I mean, you're a kid, you're a young man. I see that. But when you got, like you said, people in the room that'll talk to you better than they talk to an adult, that's an asset.
Absolutely.
That's a balance interrupter. That's you and Sterling are interrupters. Y'all can stop things from happening. There's a resource that we have to use, and I get that part. I just think, like I said, adults got to get out their own way, man, and just be like, okay. My mom used to say, if I yell at you all day at home and you go to school, first thing that parent gonna say, not my kid. You better not ever talk to my kid like that. But you just were yelling at your kid all day at home. So what you think they're gonna do at school, on the bus, at the bus stop? They're gonna get into something.
Yeah.
So you can't go at no teacher or any. At least I say, not my kid. Don't talk about. Yell at your kid all day until you get him out the house, and then you don't worry about him. Listen, I'm fortunate enough that I have girls. I don't have any sons, and I'm a girl dad. But I understand, being around so many sons from coaching in the years that I coached and just seeing these kids every day, man. They can't be. I don't know what it is to raise a son, but I know how my dad raised me. And I know what it takes to be a man. And I see my dad as a man every day, but we just got to get out our own way when it comes to our households. Like, if you need help, man, sit down with your kid. And then if they do something wrong, don't tell them to lawyer up. Yo, like my mom told me, if I ever go to jail, she ain't coming to put no money in my books.
Hey, that's so crazy. That's so crazy you said that, because I'll never forget when my dad said something similar. He told me, if you get arrested and go to jail, don't call me. Don't call me. My mom I'm not coming to get you. So hearing that, I'm like, well, if I go to jail, what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So, that kind of stopped me from not that I was a problem kid or anything like that, but just hearing that at a young age. Hey, if you choose to do this, don't call me. Yeah, my mom said, look, told my sister and my brother to our face, I raised you right. Now, if you're going to be stupid enough to be influenced by friends and do something stupid, that's on you. My mom, look, my sister used to call collect, and my mom would look at my dad and don't you touch that damn phone. Don't you touch it. I'm being real. I'm just being real. But that's because my mom said, I know how I raised you. Yeah. So if you got to go out here and out of my four walls into that world, without the discipline I gave you, without the knowledge I gave you, like my mom said, y'all gonna make mistakes, but there's mistakes you can't come back from. And don't make those kind of mistakes. Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, I love you. I raised you, but I'm not putting money on your books. I'm not driving no 2 hours to go see you at the jail. Don't call me collect every day. I ain't paying the bill. And then that let me know at a young age, okay, I'm on my damn own. Shad and Chucky ain't gonna help me. I know they love me.
but but why would I want to do something to jeopardize their name? Why would I want to hurt my mother and father? Like in that way, my generation, y'all generations, we know what it takes. Like, we can destroy our parents' legacy by what we do now, and that's the problem.
I agree because I tell my son often, he's 12, he's in seventh grade. I said, hey, man, when you go out this house, go to school, wherever you at, you're a representation of your family. And so when you go out there, you know what I mean, and act a fool, and sometimes I got to get with them. You know, I'm not big on, really put my hands on my kids, anything like that. I think I figured out a way of how to discipline them without having to, put my hands on them. But he had a little issue today. And he loves his hair. And I told, if I get another phone call about this type of situation again, we're going to the barbershop right after school.
I know that's right.
right after school. If I get another phone call like this is what we're going to do. And there's been times, I'd pop up on them at school. You have no idea when I'm going to just come to your school and sit down next to you.
Shoot, me growing up, my mom, I had a couple times my mom came and whooped me in front of the class.
That happened to me. I didn't get a whooping in front of the class. I got pulled to another room, but I definitely got a whooping in school. And now you coming back to the classroom crying, wiping your eyes. You embarrassed as hell. You know what I mean?
Them cries.
I know this group is called Stop the Violence, but do you think we'd be having these problems if they still had SWATs in school?
What is SWATs?
Like
paddle.
Getting paddled.
Oh.
Because I know a lot of people who got paddled, and they're pretty good adults right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Back in the 90s when they sent that letter home, they said you can't get whoopings. I remember I took my letter to my mom. My mom said, you be a year old goes this time next year if you think they're going to come here and tell me I can't whoop you. You be a year old goes this time next year.
Yeah,
I just want to read this comment real fast. I'm sorry.
That's my niece right there.
Ego and pride are in the way. People are afraid of being judged. Like now you have younger parents who are so overprotective of their children, and rightfully so. However, when the shelter kid becomes wayward, they are afraid to hear "I told you so." I think parenting plays a big role. We've become lax with parenting. I have children 14 years apart, and I was a lot more structured with my youngest. I'm not. How can the parents be reached without feeling judged? That's a pretty good comment.
That's my niece right there. That's my second oldest niece that made that comment. But
Miss Janaisha Walker.
That's my niece. But all the conversation is good, and it sheds light on a lot of things. But the bottom line is that the only way we can make a difference is we have to get out there and just do whatever we can. There's no definites. There's no set format. There's no book on how to talk to parents and get them to open up or how to change the kids. The thing is putting your hands, your skills, your talents, your resources together, and just doing whatever we can think or find to do. And I'm sure that once we get out there and have our community conversation, I think after each event, each conversation, everything that we do, it will open us up to more other things that we can do. This is like an untapped market. We just simply don't know. We don't know what will and won't work, but we have to be willing to try it and give it a chance, And just like the mayor said, this is a computer age, and the kids have too much accessibility to all kinds of things, and even the little games they play, all they are is murder to me. They teach them how to kill people, and I don't personally like that, but we just gonna have to talk with them and see where they're at, and get if we can get them to open up. I'm a firm believer. I believe in everything in me that if you get through to somebody's heart, you can get a good response, and it's just simply listening sometimes, just sitting and listen, you know. And if you sit there and listen and start and not try to give instruction and, you know, beat somebody over the head and tell them what they should and should not do, you get a better response. You get a better response. A
Quick
better
question.
response.
Quick question. How much influence do you guys think music has over the kids?
I think it has a lot of influence.
Man, every song,
Too
they
much
play.
influence.
Say,
Yeah.
Vadi, Sterling, you know, I mean, you guys are younger. You're more in the generation
I
of
would say it definitely do play a huge part, because even back in my day in like 2016, I was like 16. I don't know if y'all remember me creating the song like Sir Money and all that when I had everybody singing that song, like, and then there was some other songs where I was just cussing and saying I'm doing this and doing that and wasn't doing a thing, like in reality.
right.
Like, but nowadays people are starting to try to rap about it and actually go put that into place. You feel me? I don't think that that's the way that we need to go, but music is definitely a huge part of it. Like, a lot of the kids that's out here doing what they doing, all of them say they rap. Literally, like every last one from this side to that side, this side, they feel like they gotta make a rap song to diss they person who they kill, or to diss they person that they don't like, and they feel like they gotta send a diss back. You know why? Because other people just they glorify and they get recognition off of that. Like, if people diss this and do that, they feel like because they're getting attention, they're not getting no money out of it or nothing. They're just getting attention, which is making them, oh, I got to be that person, or I got to be like that, and everybody hops on it. It's like it's like a domino effect, one after another, just because I'm getting a lot of attention off of me dissing and dissing him, and everybody likes the song. So
I
I consider you like a son to me.
about to say it's crazy because I just watched a podcast. I watch a lot of podcasts because that's what I do. I'm into. So I just watched a podcast with Vaughn off 200, and he said like he talks about toting guns, this, that, and the third. Every gun, he's like, that's what he do. That's what he talk about. But he doesn't do it at all. Like, he doesn't shoot. You know, he don't do it at all. Like, so it just crazy because everybody listens to him, and just because he says he does it, they want to go out there and do it. Like, that's not life. Like, that's crazy because little do they know you do that and then you get caught. Majority of the time, if you do it, you're gonna get caught, and then you in jail from 60 to life. Then what? What you gonna? Now you just in there. Like, it's just wild, because like
I mean, the music plays a role in it too, but again, you know, it always comes back to you know, and then I mean, who you hang around is who you. They said, I always say, you know, old folks say, who you hang around is a reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever you hang around, if they're doing the most, but you just want to be around them, like I said, you ever heard of the word guilty by association? I mean, if you're in the car with somebody, something happens, pop off, you driving the car, everything in that car, if they get out and run, you're gonna be responsible because you operate the vehicle. Like, there's so many things that people need to understand, that you know who you do hang around is a reflection of who you are sometimes. And I think that's just the key. But also, like is mentioned before, like, you know, just getting out of our own way. I mean, like, just like these kids, they, you know, man, I mean, every time you see them, there's smiles on their faces. They speak. So I know it. We know it's in them.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's in them. But just something happens when they get around their friends. They get when they get somewhere, and they just
got to portray an image.
Take over. You know, my favorite rapper right now, like Rod, is you know, what's my boy's name?
Rod Wave.
Huh?
Rod Wave.
Rod Wave. Yep.
Okay.
I want to go. That's one of my. I mean, my nephew AJ put me on to him like a couple years ago, man. I really, I every one of his songs, man. Just because he's saying something.
He's and every song is a message.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like all he says is it's a message to it. If you listen, like, and it's like it's stuff that he's been through, bro. Like losing, you know, all kind of drugs. I mean, every song that he said, he you know, you could tell he'd been through something. The way he said,
is this the same? Is this the same dude they say was stealing everybody's music?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the one. See, you just killed his witness, man.
But yeah, man. I mean, when I think about, you know, the music, you know, of course, I'm born in the '80s, so I grew up in the '90s. So, you know, music, you know, it was when I go back and listen to some of the stuff that I grew up listening to, it was a little wild. I mean, I understood why my parents didn't want me listening to it, but of course, I'm a sneak and listen to it anyway. But I never had that mindset of the biggest influence I think rap had on me was how we talked and how we dressed. Not so much. It never made me want to go sell drugs. It never made me want to go tote guns or anything like that.
Why, Jones? I mean, why? Because why? There's a reason why you didn't.
I mean, I believe it was because of just the structure that I had. You know what I mean? At home.
There you go.
You know what I mean? But
that's the Mendoza line. That's the line you wouldn't cross.
You're right.
Visible, but you knew it was always there.
Yeah, and I looked at it like movies. You could watch movies and you see a bunch of crazy stuff in movies. But I don't really hear people blaming. Well, maybe they do. Blaming movies like they do rap music. You see a lot of crazy stuff in these movies and hear a lot of wild stuff, but maybe it's because of the music is so repetitive and there's a catchy beat and there's a nice hook to it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the difference between music and movies. But yeah, the group of guys that I came up with, it was we all like the same music, but it never made us want to go do anything crazy. And we all pretty much had, all of us, we had pretty good households and good. I don't want to say anybody's not a good parent. But
right.
Our parents put good values into us, and of course we still push that envelope, but we knew certain things that we just weren't going to do.
But the village has changed so much. The village ain't really the village no more. You can't yell at somebody's kid. You can't. Back when I was a kid, you gotta did something on the bus. By the time you got home, everybody was pointing their finger on get your ass home.
Yeah. It's wild that you said it because I was just having a conversation with a few people. We don't have to be personal friends or anything like that, but if you see my kids out there fucking up, say something. I have no issue with you, saying something to my kids because they out there doing stuff that they should not be doing. Now I never got a whooping or anything like that from neighbors or anything like that, but I know by the time I got home, a phone call had already been made. That I was doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm pretty much walking into a whooping, and I don't even know it.
Shoot, I
I'm 49. You ass whooping was a plenty. It was belt to ass. By the time you got off the bus, somebody was telling you to come here. I heard what you did. So
there's a comment on the comment page that says Ronald Smith giving the kids, if you're not going to go to college for whatever, go to a trade school. And I want to ask you guys a question. Do you know the two biggest obstacles minorities, not just blacks, minorities face why they can't get into trade school? Dewan?
Can't pass the drug test and can't take the equipment and they take the test to get in.
Let's make it three then. Transportation. I work for a company that is plumbing and heating, and we have multiple pre-apprentice opportunities. I've posted it time and time again on my page, and I've offered to pay people's application fees. I've offered to pay whatever they need to get in there. They can't pass a drug test.
Yeah, that's the difficult part for a lot of these kids. A lot of people in general, I think.
Our guys, hold on. Our plumbers, sheet metal guys, they're making $40 to $50 an hour.
Good money.
After 3 years.
But I like what B Love is doing also. Doesn't he have some kind of something like that also right here in Aliquippa?
Yes, absolutely.
B-Love, I mean, man, but I would say too, you got 7 companies right through the tunnel. Right now, if you could just pass the test, and some of them will even be lax on the drug as long as you don't cost them money. Because if you can't do a measurement right, you costing them thousands of dollars. Right. So it comes down to people say, well, ain't no jobs here. Man, I'm telling you, there's 7 companies through that tunnel right now who advertise every day. I post. Anybody, you'll tell you, Sterling, how many jobs do I post a day?
Major.
So you can't nobody keep saying get these kids a job. Then they answered somebody's question earlier when they talked about summer jobs. So here's the thing too. We post all the time to school, myself. We post all the time about they will hire if you go to Career Links right now in the summertime after school and you go up there. Now there's some criteria you gotta meet. But if you go up there, they will put you in Aliquippa to work. But they can't get nobody to go up there, man.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like,
man,
even if the opportunities are there, you cannot make people want to do certain things. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But and you know, like we were talking yesterday, of course, you're not going to be able to save everybody.
Right.
But a lot of this stuff, I feel like that be going on, and I'd be hearing about shootings at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And what's it going to take for, you know, a kindergartner or an innocent bystander to be standing outside and get, you know, is that what it's going to take for this to?
And that's what you don't want, man. You understand that? That's what you really don't want. I'm telling you, you don't want that. Like nobody wants that. I'm telling you, man, to hear a mother's cry, you don't want that. You don't want that. Nor do you need that. And I'm like, and the people that with the guns, like, come on, be conscious of stuff. Like, come on, family. Like, I mean, I see my op right there. Let me go ahead and have. Come on, man. At the end of the day, why would you want to have? And then you think you only got a matter of time before you get caught. Only a matter of time for somebody. I'm telling you, it may not happen now, but it will happen. But I don't know why anybody on this earth who from born and raised in Aliquippa, anywhere else, but I'm talking about where we live. You know, why would you? And you know, there's 2 degrees of separation. Y'all, we related somehow, like family. And why the heck would you? And then you be the same person that knows somebody killed and go right to their wedding and cry like right along with them when you got the answer in the tip of your tongue, when you could change the tide and say this is who did it, and don't say a word. I don't know anybody would want that on their conscience. I know I wouldn't want that on my conscience. And I pray every day that nothing that happens, man. I'm telling you, I don't sleep even now, man. It just, and I ain't the only one, but I just get afraid, bro. I pray for rain every day when it's summertime. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be in the backyard praying for rain every day. Storm.
I do feel that though, because when me and one of my friends, we talk about it every now and then. We be like, man, it's been real quiet around here lately, and it sucks to say that because it's like it's been so quiet. You kind of waiting for something to happen,
bro. Like you said,
you know what I mean?
I knocked on wood just when you said that. I knocked on wood.
Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks to say that, you know what I mean? But soon as you know, beginning of May roll around, weather start getting pretty good. More people is outside, and when you hear those first gunshots, you be like, or even when it's, March, and you get a few good days, and you hear some things going on, you be like, dang man, summer ain't even started yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? Here we are, but I'm really hoping that there is some kind of resolution to curb this.
Another thing too, if I could interject this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The adults, we gotta get along so the kids will get along. There's so many people, I don't like them, or I don't like them, or I don't like them. Well, the kids absorb that. You know what I mean? There might be people that don't want to join this group because I'm in it. There might be people that don't want to join it because Sandra's in it. But we have to get along. If we can't get along, how are the youth going to get along? How are the young adults going to get along if the adults can't get along?
I'll agree with that. Even if you don't like each other, you know what I mean? You don't have to be friends.
But the main thing got to be the main thing, though. We saving lives. We trying to keep each other safe. We trying to fix where we rest our head. As long as that's the goal, we put everything else aside. If we really about Aliquippa, there shouldn't be nothing we can't do together. If we really about our families, if we really about this Quip thing, if we really about Quip Pride, because it seems like we got Quip Pride from June to December. Then once football season over, it's like them other 8-9 months, we don't even like each other. It's Hatfields and McCoys.
But I will say this about Aliquippa. I've never been to a place where people have more pride than people in Aliquippa. There may be, I just haven't seen it. Everywhere.
If Aliquippa only knew how powerful they were, we'd be unstoppable. Unforgettable.
I just want to say, I want to speak to all you mothers out there, because I am a mother. And I just like to give you some food for thought. Can you possibly imagine an obituary that your child's name is the headline name on this obituary, and you in there as a mother? I spoke to the kids at Aliquippa School. I was invited up there some years ago, and I passed out my son's obituary, and I gave it to them and told them to put their name in this place. And something that little and minute you think might not really take an effect. It was kids that came to me later on, and they was like, really that really did something to them. Sometimes, yeah, I mean, you aren't seeing it, but it's like it seems to take some realistic effect when they looked at it that way. So I'm saying to you, mothers, regardless of who you like, who you don't like, what you're doing, what you ain't doing. Just think about it. Just think about that midnight hour call. It give you chills. Just the thought of it give you chills. So imagine actually living it. So if for nothing else, if for no other reason on earth, just let's all just link up and get together in any form and fashion that we can and try to do all that we can. So we won't have to read your kid's name and your name in one of those obituaries. So I'm just asking that, that anybody who wants to support us, and all your ideas are welcome. Anytime you can come and be a part of us, feel free to. We do have a Facebook page that we send out invites. You can join us there. And shortly we'll be starting back with the meetings, the public meetings. We basically meet now just to try to get, some kind of,
Well,
format and
where
some
do
things
where
together
do
so we can get it moving. Yes.
where do you guys meet?
We have right now we have Zoom meetings, and it's just
Okay.
basically the
Okay.
board. It's just basically the board. At practically every Sunday we meet and discuss what we plan to do and how we plan to do it, and different connections we plan to link up with. We even have talk with the mayor and through some things around that he's going to help us get together on,
Mhm.
and we're going to open up pretty soon for. We're going to have a community conversation that will be held at Charades. So that's on the 28th, right?
We're waiting on the date for sure, because the
Okay.
mayor actually has a plan for the 28th at Charades. Charades.
Oh, okay.
Mayor, we
Okay.
need you to confirm that so we can move our date. But anyway, our date was supposed to be the 27th, but we can't do it then. But anyway, at the end of October, we're trying to get something going. This community meets, this community conversation, and it will be at Charades. She has graciously opened her place to us. And it's an easy spot, it's an easy day, and hopefully we can get some people out.
So all of you out there in listening land, yeah, we've done a lot of conversating throughout the years. We attended so many vigils. We attended so many funerals of these these kids, young folks that was violently taken by the crimes. When do we stop talking about it? When do we stop going to vigils and all those different things, and we make all these nice statements and things that should be, would be done, and what things used to be about, and how things was. Let's just get in there and just make it into what it can be. But it's going to take the whole community. It's going to take all of us to come together, and we're going to have to work not only with our kids, we're going to have to work with each other's kids. We're going to have to put those vices down. We're going to have to just come together and just do it, because if we don't do it, who is going to do it for us?
That's right.
Good point. Good
I
point.
approve that. I approve that message.
Now, what I did was I put the phone number on for people to call into the show if you had any questions or comments or anything like that. 878-348-0414 is on the screen here, and it's also pinned into the chat. So that was just if anybody wanted to call in rather than comment or anything like that. Phone line is open. But anybody got you guys got anything else and any other pointers, tips, anything like that?
Hold on, real quick.
Go
I say,
ahead.
who did?
God
God
did.
did.
Who did?
God
God
did.
did.
We all we got.
We all we
We all we
need.
need.
We all we got.
We
We
all
are
we need.
It's a what?
It's a
Family.
It's
family.
a what?
It's a
It's a
family.
family.
Come on, man.
And that's the whole Aliquippa. That's the whole Aliquippa. We all a family, man.
Now, I appreciate this, Mr. Jones, man. Like I said, appreciate you, like you said, putting it out there. You do a lot of content yourself, in your own right. So, like I said, this something like now is real. I mean, this is something we got to fix where we rest our head at. So,
That's
everything,
right.
everything that Miss Gilbert said, like I said, my mom still, like to people who face death, it's like it's yesterday, even though it's been 15 years, even though it's been X amount of years, it's yesterday that most of and the life goes on. And I think that's what people forget, that life around us still goes on. We still, like, my sister got grandkids she's never even met. You know what I mean? So, So it's for people who are in it, be mindful of that. I still think the biggest health crisis we face as a community as a whole is mental health. I mean, we give money for a lot of things, but I think that's the biggest issue we face, and nobody touching it. We got to fix ourselves, man. We got to recognize that there's something wrong with us. Look in the mirror and say, I got to get some help, and figure this thing out. And then if we love ourselves, we can love everybody else the right way.
That's right.
We don't love ourselves the right way. Because you can tell the way we treat each other. I'm not saying that everybody like that, then somebody will push you to it, but I'm just saying at some point, man, if you feeling down, it's just a lot of things that's on us. Everybody in the city, everybody in this world, we facing some heavy things, man. And how we direct that energy is going to be key. You know, don't get so high, don't get so low. I'm even killed, but I learned that from my dad. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
for the opportunity for being a voice, Jones. I mean, I appreciate you, man. I think, like I said, Javad and Sterling, and as a family, like y'all, man, y'all the voice of a generation, man. Y'all making real because y'all calling people out on their shit. And at the end of the day, that's the best thing to do is like, hey, best reflection of somebody is letting them see what they do. And then the best person who sees themselves is to change what they do. I mean, that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way I was raised. That's Chucky Walker talking. That's Chadwick Walker talking. Just the way it would be. I don't want nobody to cry at night. I've seen too many.
And what's sad is people think it doesn't affect them. Like Sandra's son's murder, it didn't affect me. So and so's murder, it didn't affect me, but it does. At the end of the day, this is your community. This is where you live. This is where you reside. This is where you pay your taxes. This is where you're trying to raise your kids and walk your dog. Every murder, violent crime does affect you. It will.
And it does.
And it
and it
does.
absolutely does. I had a
Yeah.
young man, how many years ago, James Little was murdered right and dropped for dead right in front of my house.
Yeah.
14 years ago. You know what I mean? I still see his body. You know what I mean? I didn't see the crime, but I still see that day them guys knocked on my door, call 911. They thought it was a trash bag in the street and it was him just laying there unsolved.
Well,
So
imagine being called at about 11:30 on a Friday evening, and someone's calling you to tell you, I'm on my way. I didn't have a car at the time to pick you up because your son has been shot. We got to take you to the hospital. So me thinking, it's not the first time Peanut had an incident, and I had to go see about him. So this is just one of those incidents. I'm just going to see about my son. That's all. So I get out to the hospital, and it's a waiting room full of people, and everybody is crying, and I'm like confused. So I asked the nurse. I say, well, how is he? Where's he at? Is he okay? And she didn't know what to say. And John Raines was there with me at the time, and he said he's resting peacefully. It still didn't take toll. It didn't sink in. So I go down to the little church, the little chapel, and I pray. I took my Bible. when I come back upstairs, they take me back in the room, and they're telling me the doctor. I can't hear it this time. I'm just seeing his lips moving, and he's saying, "Well, his blood pressure went low when we got it back up." And then it dropped again. And I just said, wait, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to say? Is he dead? Is he dead? And he just started nodding his head. Right then and there, I was like, out of body experience. It didn't register. It didn't register. I was so confused. I didn't know I couldn't believe what I just heard, you know? So I'm just saying that to say, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Just trust me. You don't want to experience one of them moments. You don't want to experience that, because just like they're saying, I live it every single day of my life. Every child, every time one of these kids, and I know they're older, but they're kids to me, life is taken, I relive this all over again. And I can only imagine that what this mother is going through, because I am one of those mothers. So I'm just saying all that to say, if nothing else matters. If none of this means a hell of beans to you, what we just said, just put yourself in my shoes and try to walk around them in them for a moment. And I can guarantee you'll probably do any and everything you can do to try to make it better for not only your kid, but everybody else's kids. So come on, y'all.
That's
Please,
right. That's right.
please, for me, so that it would give me so much it would make me feel so much better just to know that if we save one child's life, well, our work, everything we do, the little efforts that we do, if we could save one or two or three of them, I would feel like that was the best thing that I could have ever done, you know, in lieu of my son's life being taken. So my goal is just to do all that I can, whatever it is, whenever, to try to make this not be one of your nightmares.
And how old did you say your son was again?
My son was 21. He had just turned 21. He had 1-year-old daughter who is currently 27, 28. And I hear it all the time from her about how awful it is to live without a father. She wants to know her father so bad, but that was all taken away from her. He even has a grandson now that he never got a chance to see. He never got an opportunity to have the joys in life that we had. And I never got to see him really grow up and become the man that he could have become, just because of a senseless night, an argument that should have, yeah, just a simple argument. And he more or less got shot in the butt. And most people let it tell about it, but he happened to be trying to run. So it went through one side and came out the other and shattered everything in between. But, you know, it's just a heart-rending thing to have to bear. And again, the only thing I can say, if you just look at me and listen to me, and can kind of feel a sense where how badly it broke me, then let's not let it happen to you. Let's do our best not to let it happen to you.
Something else that I was thinking about doing. I don't know how long it's going to take me to put this together, but I like to get a few guys that have done some time, significant amount of time, and just tell their stories. You know what I'm about being in there. I think that could deter some kids or some young adults from doing certain things. You know what I mean? Because I don't think a lot of people, and not just kids but people in general, I don't think they really realize or grasp the concept of what life is going to be like once I've never been to jail, so I know those stories that I can tell, but I've heard some. And I don't think a lot of people understand how significantly their life is going to be changed for the next 15, 20, 30 years and all of that. And not just your life, even the people who go to jail, they got family, they got a mama, they got dads, you know what I mean? How that affects that family also.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's one of the things we had in mind to also too, and we had a couple people that's readily available to do just that. And if you like, we can link up and come up with a plan and put this thing to action.
sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, so that's something, we can discuss in detail a little further and put our resources together and just do it, whether it be on a podcast or however the case may be. I'm in.
Yeah. Now, I think doing things like this, you know what I mean? People will say it's just talking and all of that type of stuff, but I think it's a healthy dialogue, a healthy talk that needs to be had.
Right.
Podcasting, social media, and all of that, is a big way to get messages out and across these days. Vadi, I know you have a real big audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But it ain't really start off with the podcast though. It started off with the you could say the drama and the negative stuff, but then it,
yeah. But I mean, regardless of how it happened, you know what I mean. You have that audience now. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna follow you for pretty much whatever it is. Though they're like fans for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna follow you no matter what it is that you're doing, unless you're doing some real off the wall type stuff. But I mean, I got my I don't have a huge audience, but just kind of being controversial. That's how I was able to build up my following. So yeah, now, people are watching this now. From different states. I put it in different groups. People that don't live in Aliquippa, people that don't live in Pennsylvania are watching this, and they're probably dealing with some of the same issues, possibly where they from. So this is the good message. I feel like everybody on the panel has something good to say. Miss Sandra, oh sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about, what happened, however many years ago. I know that probably has to still be, I'm sure it still hurts every day.
Every day.
But I'm glad that you were able to get on here, tell your story, and also put something together to try to prevent this from happening to another mom or another young man, another young woman.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, man, when Miss Sue hit me with it, I was like, I've never done anything like this as far as podcasting. Usually it's interviews and, different types of things. Nothing really too serious, more so for entertainment for the most part. So this is a little different. But I'm open to, doing all kind of different things as far as podcasting is concerned. So I like it. I enjoy it. I felt like this was a good opportunity to give you a platform, you guys a platform for what it is that you're trying to do, and what the plans will be going forward with to stop the violence movement in Aliquippa.
I'd like to say my little fun fact real quick.
All right.
Javad, am I allowed to say my fun fact?
Go ahead. Hey, tell it like it is. Hey, nothing but the truth.
Javad and Sterling went to school with my oldest daughter, and I used to be a lunch monitor down at St. Titus, and they were just young little lads, and they were a handful. And I used to personally discipline them, like yell at them and to tell them to be good. And look at them now, fine adults. I feel I had a hand in that. You're welcome. Just kidding.
You already know. Thank you.
I didn't know you went to St. Titus, Vadi.
Yeah, I did back in I think that was kindergarten or first grade.
Okay.
And he had the same exact face. Him and Sterling had the same exact face in their little uniforms.
So just to change the subject a little bit, then we go ahead and get out of here. Who the Quips got for homecoming this week?
West Allegheny.
So from what I know for them playing West Allegheny over the last 2 years, it came down to what the last minute both years, right? Real close.
Yep.
Now I'll say this though, I don't expect it to happen, but it could be probably nothing worse as an athlete, football player, than losing on homecoming. I don't think it could be anything worse than that.
West Allegheny's losing on homecoming, not the Quips.
Oh, okay. But I'm just whoever it is, whoever's playing on their homecoming, you know, it has to be. Well, somebody's got to lose, but
come see me in the concession stand. I got a chicken boat waiting for you.
I heard y'all not doing Cash App anymore. What happened?
It's too cumbersome. We don't really. It's like a lot. It lags the line longer. It makes things longer.
Oh, okay. So is it cash only? Do you take cards? How does that?
Yeah, cash only. Yeah.
Cash only. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Better hit the bank up.
Yeah, because you know you never know. A lot of people don't carry cash anymore. You know what I mean? I might have $10 or $20 on me.
To be honest with you, when it was working, because we had some times where it just completely stopped. The I don't want to say it wasn't worth it, but people come there with cash. They do.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it's all.
Yeah, I me personally, I rarely ever have cash on me. Like I said, $10, maybe $20.
That might get you
at the most.
Half a chicken boat.
Yeah, man, nothing like those chicken boats. I haven't been to a game this year though, but I need to. What else happened? No more gyros? What happened? What's going on?
That guy left years before the new stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He left for Zila.
No. No, I don't know when he left, but yeah, I'm not sure. So it's really tough being the only game in town. We get a lot of not happy people, but we're trying. We added a new fryer. So we have 4 fryers now, and we did really well last week with getting the line down. So hopefully this week it'll be good too. Take it easy on us. We're all volunteers.
No, so that means nobody gets paid for being in the concession stand.
Right. And another little fun fact, I have 17 helpers that help every game. Not one of those volunteers have an active player, cheerleader, or band member. And that just goes to show you the heart of the volunteers.
I hope they at least get some free food.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
All they want. Sausages, chicken boats, whatever.
And I wanted to say too, you know what I mean? Mayor Walker, I know a lot of people are confused, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up as a Pettis. So when people are like, you know, Jones, they don't know which way to really go with it. You know what I mean? Jones, Pettis. And so I go by both. Okay. So, you know what I mean? If anybody, you know, is like, you know, feel some kind of way about it. I kind of seen it in your face. Like, I don't know which way, you know what I mean? But yeah, either one is cool. Either one is good.
No, I mean, like you said, just I mean, I work the sticks. Donald been doing it for a long time. I mean, we volunteer around here. We try our best to be where we need to be, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I said about Aliquippa. That's one thing I can tell you. We come together though. You know, we come together when we have to, man. And you just don't want it on a bad occasion, but we do come together, man, and try to work all these little things out. So like I said, I commend Miss Sandra and Sue for what they want to do, and that's why I said I don't mind supporting them because they recognize that we got to fix where we rest our head at. You know, we definitely in SOS mode, saving ourselves. So we got to figure out how we can fix our house first before we can fix somebody else's house.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Definitely agreed.
Oh,
like I said, this was great.
This was great. Oh, yay.
Shout out to my neighbors. Shout out to my neighbor Sakari. Yeah. I think she's one of my loyal listeners. I'm pretty sure she listens to all my shows. I say this all the time. I would love to be more consistent. But like me and Vadi, you know, we was talking about it yesterday, and we have conversations when I see you in the barbershop. Yo, this podcasting joint ain't as easy as people may think it is. It's really not. It's really not. It takes a lot of preparation, and you know, in time, to you know get things a certain kind of way. I like to look at myself as a perfectionist when it comes to this. Even though I hate editing, most of the time I do not edit anything. But just being prepared for what it is that I'm about to do. Like I said, I like to think of myself as a perfectionist in that regard. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all, man. I thought this has been pretty good.
Thank
If
you.
I can add
Yeah,
one
yeah.
more thing, and I'll be quiet.
Yeah, go ahead.
We do have a mission statement that I would like to read. We are working on becoming a 501c3 because there's a lot of benefits to that. You know, you're more, I don't want to say believable, but there's more things you can do. But our mission statement is to prevent and reduce the cycle of violence in Aliquippa by addressing its underlying causes, promoting conflict resolution skills, and providing resources for individuals in our community impacted by violence.
Sounds good.
Now we just
Sounds
got
real
to
good.
figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think once you get you get people on board with it, and I think everything will work
All in
itself
place.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything will be pretty cool. And then on top of that, when people being held accountable for stuff, you know what I mean. Even as a friend, you know what I mean. Your friend out here doing something wild, it's okay to tell your friend like, yo, man, you really doing the most right now. You know what I mean.
Right.
That's not cool, but that also takes a level of maturity.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how it goes. But one thing, a few things I talked to my son about is reputation and controlling your emotions. I tell him often there's a lot of people who aren't here anymore or 6 feet deep because they just could not control their emotions. Right. So I talk to him about that often. It's still a work in progress, you know what I mean? He every now and then he may get beside himself, but I'm able to pull him back in, have a conversation with him, and just remind him you have to, it's okay to be upset, mad, angry, all of that type of stuff, but you have to control it.
That's
just
right.
got to, So, we'll leave out on that. Anybody got anything else to say?
One more thing.
My man.
Who did?
God did.
Who did?
God did.
We all we got.
We all we need.
It's a what?
It's a
family. So hold on, buddy. Before we go, real quick, where can people find you on your podcast?
You can find us on all platforms: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at It's a Family Podcast. Everything. ITS, family, and podcast. We all we got and we all we need.
All right, my man.
You can find me in the concession stand.
Concession stand. Miss Sandra, I know I don't think you do social media too often. From what they say, you're not the most tech savvy person.
I do Facebook.
You do Facebook, okay?
I don't get into all that other stuff, but I do Facebook.
So if somebody wanted to reach out to you and contact you about anything, what's your Facebook name?
Sandra Walker Gilbert.
Sandra Walker Gilbert.
Better yet, I can give them my phone number, 724-630-6755. And we do have a Facebook page for Stop the Violence also. So, and I float around Aliquippa. So if you need me, I am available.
Oh yeah, I texted my dad yesterday about the would he get you some silly putty?
Yeah, did you tell him? What did he say?
Hold on. Let me check my messages. What he say? Because he did reply back to me. He said, I said, yes. Sandra Gilbert said you still owe her a gift because you gave her silly putty in 4th grade. Said, does she mean for Christmas grab bag? She's still mad about that, huh? So yeah. He owes you a gift from 4th grade. Who gives somebody silly putty, man? Silly putty?
I mean, a girl. I'm a girly girl. What I'm going to do with silly putty, right?
And shout out to the mayor. Oh, there he is. I say shout out to the mayor for giving us his time.
Yeah, shout out to the mayor for coming through last year.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate the love. This ain't the first or the last time, Mr. Pettis.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do this again, man, for sure. We'll do it soon. I got so much going on, man. So many things that I be trying to do. Ideas, always flowing through my head. But like I've said before too, there's been people who have said, I need to broaden my horizons and not do so much Aliquippa stuff. But I like giving people where I'm from a platform.
Well, that's important, man. I mean, because there's so preconceived notions out there. Like I said, people don't understand. I work a full-time job. I mean, I don't sit around twiddling my fingers all day.
Yeah.
You know, I work 9 to 7 every day. You know, I've been working at my one job. I was there for 10 years and left and came to this one. I've been here almost 2 years. So I ain't sitting around just twiddling my fingers, man. I work every day. Somebody got to make the donuts. You only pay me $175.42 to be the mayor.
I was gonna say that a lot of people don't know that the mayors don't get paid.
What? Hold on, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off, but they only what?
I only get $175.42 a month.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes. Just kidding.
Hey, don't be Sue Cable and always posting bulk week.
Hey, you know what, man? I missed it today too. You know what? Something I seen that I haven't seen before. What we got, like code enforcement, lawn enforcement, or something like that. People need to keep their grass cut.
Yeah.
It depends if you can't, like somebody complain about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I told you, it just people telling each other like, oh, he blew grass in my grass. We'll go find it. And then they say, well, it's somewhere in that grass. I'm like, come on. You got people that spy on you as soon as you walk up, they be videotaping you. There's some crazy stuff going on out here.
Man,
Don't
just
talk
mind your business.
Don't talk about my neighbor.
You said that. I didn't. I'm saying allegedly.
Well, y'all, listen, man, this has been cool. I appreciate everybody for stopping through. Mayor Walker, I know you were last minute, so that's definitely appreciated.
No, I appreciate the opportunity, family. Absolutely.
My man, Miss Sandra, Miss Sue. Again, thank y'all for
Thank you.
even contacting me about doing this. Vadi, Sterling, man. Again, I can't say it enough. I really enjoy what y'all be doing. I be watching y'all, man. I definitely be watching. I like how y'all interact with the young people. So keep doing what it is that y'all doing, and yeah, man, it's only up from here. You know what I mean? I want to see y'all succeed so badly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we have our conversations. What's that?
On our show for sure. So
hey, man,
on our show for sure.
Let me know, man. I'm always down for that. You know, I'm always down to network and get a different audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. But
we're gonna be hitting.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Again, like I said, I appreciate y'all for being on. We're gonna do it again real soon, but don't forget to smile. It's a good look.
God bless you all.
God bless you, man. Be safe.
Good night.
You know it.
Thank you.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Y'all.
Most incredible, baby. most incredible, baby.